What's going on? It's Michael from Reality Hacker. Today I want to talk to you about the most powerful affirmation in existence, and it's not what you think. First, let's dive into what that affirmation is. Affirmation is simple. I am. Now, I'm sure you've heard this before, but I think what you're going to get out of this video is a little bit of a different take. See, a lot of us say affirmations, we say them well, right? But a couple things happen. We don't feel into them, we don't embody them, and we carry this hope that they will be true at one point, right? So what I want to do today is I want to completely shift your perspective. I want you to understand that you are not saying affirmations from a limited place. You're an infinite being having finite experiences. When we say affirmations and when we fully feel them, what we're really doing is we're calling into existence, or not really into existence, into display that which was previously unseen, right? Neville says that creation is finished, right? We don't create reality. We only shine a light on what already existed, right? So everything that you want, it already exists. We have to approach it from this perspective. And then when we really begin to take from this place, we begin to look at the phrase I am, and we say, well, actually, when I make that statement that I actually am, because I can't say I am blank, embodied, without actually entering into that state, right? So the most powerful affirmation here is I am, from that understanding that you are all that is. So what we want to do here is we want to up our affirmation game by diving into the awareness that transcends all things, right? Neville says one thing throughout all of his work: man is all imagination. And this is the one thing that we see constantly people misunderstanding or even just passing over, because it's a nice statement, but until you understand this, you won't understand this, right? And Neville even says that this truth, this law, is not something you can know intellectually. It's something that you must come to know and experience spiritually or intimately. And so one of the best things that you can do for yourself in order to really get into this space where that I am is full of fullness is ultimately taking time throughout the day to bring remembrance to the fact that you are an infinite being having a human experience. Because what's happening here is we're really working with the nervous system, right? We're really working at finding a lot of different ways to ease up the tension in the nervous system and create room for release. Because ultimately, right, if we want to get down to the logistics, it is the nervous system that creates reality. You know, that is where the subconscious and the conscious mind hold their charge, right? So the more I walk throughout my day in that state of least resistance, right, or that high state of understanding that I am the very source of the universe experiencing itself subjectively, all of a sudden, when it comes to actually moving and living and being, I'm going to find that substance actually found in my actions, right? Because I can only do to the extent that I can be, and I can only be to the extent of which I am, right? That was said by Charles Hannell, who's Napoleon Hill's mentor. So understanding that I am is not a declaration of what is to be, but understanding that it is a declaration of what already is, because you are the source of all that is. Your imagination literally is your actual identity, and you are only thinking that you are your limited self for a short while. So I want you to really begin to play with this. I want you to dive into this. I want you to allow your body to recognize this, right? When you've noticed your body beginning to fill up with tension, fill up with all sorts of resistance, we want to go beyond all the techniques and all that kind of stuff. We want to come to the remembrance of the infinite being that we are, because the more that we do that, the more habitualized we become to that actual process, right? So if the whole goal here is getting into a high vibrational state, then our objective is to literally find ways to set intentions, be mindful throughout the day to where we can come back to that state as much as possible. Because it's not about being in the wish fulfilled for a long time. It's about returning back there as much as possible, because that creates the habit, right? If I can only do to the extent that I can be, then my objective should be to be in the highest state of consciousness possible as much as possible, right? So in returning to that state intentionally, focusedly, right, over and over and over again, I can literally habitualize my nervous system to really be natural around that state. And if you need tools, if you need ways to do that, go check out the Source app on iOS, right? We put that out app almost a year now, I think. I don't really remember, honestly. The perfect meditation to bring you into that layer one awareness state where you're fully felt infinite, right? There's a lot of other different tools you can use, but this is something that you have to do. You must be able to get yourself back to this state as much as you possibly can, because ultimately it's this state that is aligned with your highest desires. It's aligned with the outcome that is wanted, right? So my job is to understand that I am infinite before I am anything else. And understanding that when I claim myself to be something, I'm actually conditioning the infinite being that I am to funnel through that, because I don't exist in state of consciousness. States of consciousness exist inside of me. That being said, I hope you got some goodness from today's video. Love to hear your comments. If you want to talk about it more, let's dialogue. Let's interact with each other. I'm here for you. I'm here to help this community stand strong, grow in emotional resilience. If you need anything, go ahead and reach out to us. And if you want, go ahead and look at the iOS app source, Optimal Mind. We're going to be bringing it to Android soon. But also you can check the link in the description for all sorts of different tools that we provide to help you bring yourself back to that highest state as much as possible every single day. All right? Sounds good. You're amazing. You're worthy. You're loved. And more importantly, you are the totality of the universe experiencing itself subjectively. Talk to you soon.